Top agent has hit the bricks. He leaving the FBI, he announced, after we learned what the Bureau told Big Tech just before the New York Post broke the Hunter Biden story. Well, a top FBI special agent has resigned, we are learning, after facing allegations he helped to shield Hunter Biden from criminal investigations into his overseas business dealings. Republicans have long been raising concerns about political bias in law enforcement. Take a listen.
This is very serious, and this is not conservatives attacking the FBI. This is within the FBI, whistleblowers coming forward to Congress. When an FBI senior official goes to Congress as a whistleblower, it means they can't get things fixed within the organization, that nobody's listening to them.
Kelly O'Grady has breaking details out of Los Angeles on this story. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Jillian. Well, that soundbite that you just played, it's really powerful as it underscores the distrust brewing of these institutions. Now, the latest coming with the resignation of Timothy Thibault over the weekend. He's one of 13 special assistant agents in the Washington field office and the focus of FBI whistleblower accusations. Now, sources telling Fox News Thibault was escorted out of the building on Friday. That's customary practice, but this comes as the former FBI agent has been accused of political bias. Now, Thibault allegedly ordering the matter of the Hunter Biden case closed without providing a valid reason as required by FBI guidelines. Senator Grassley, a leader in bringing these accusations to light, sharing a statement with Fox News, quote, Mr. Thibault's blatant partisanship undermined the work and reputation of the FBI. Political bias should have no place at the FBI, and the effort to revive the FBI's credibility can't stop with his exit. We need accountability, which is why Congress must continue investigating.
The federal agent at the center of the 2020 conspiracy to stop Donald Trump resigned over the weekend. Tim Thibault, a 25-year-old veteran, was in charge of an agency-wide scheme to bury the Hunter Biden laptop scandal and protect the big guy. This isn't Russian disinformation. Whistleblowers from within the FBI came out and said it last month. Even Director Christopher Wray had to face some tough questions over it. Watch.
Isn't it true that Mr. Thibault, Agent Thibault, excuse me, and FBI Supervisory Intelligence Analyst Brian Otan covered up derogatory information about Mr. Hunter Biden while working for the FBI?
Well, again, I want to be very careful not to interfere with ongoing personnel matters.
Well, that's about as emotional as you'll see him get. Even Bill Belichick said, pick it up a little. They investigated him. He was walked out of the building, and now the FBI wants you to think they rooted out the bias problem. Merrick Garland today even announced a new DOJ policy that will prohibit federal agents from attending, quote, partisan political events. About time. Don't be fooled. If we've learned anything, it's that Washington rewards these people. In fact, the White House just appointed one of the intel officials who lied and called Hunter Biden's laptop Russian disinformation, one of the 51. They just named it to the president's Intel Advisory Board. And now Thibault gets to just retire instead of maybe getting arrested. But Wray says he doesn't want any appearance of bias coming out of the FBI.
I have communicated consistently since I started as director that our folks need to make sure that they're not just doing the right thing, that they're doing it in the right way, and that they avoid even the appearance of bias.
Well, they didn't listen, right? Give us a break. Are we supposed to think that Thibault acted alone about this, or that Christopher Wray had no idea what was going on inside his own agency? The cover-up wasn't orchestrated by one person. Was this FBI policy? And do we need to hold somebody accountable? The answer, of course, is yes. Let's bring in a guy that knows what it's like to be in an intel agency, Buck Sexton, former CIA analyst and co-host of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show. Buck, your reaction to this revelation?
Look, there are a lot of people within the federal bureaucracy and the intel agencies on the law enforcement side who are effectively activists. We refer to them as the deep state. We refer to them as people who are partisans acting behind the shield or acting behind some legal authority that they have. And this is systemic. I mean, we often hear that term from the left. This is a problem that needs to be addressed. And it keeps happening in a way that we see who they favor. On the disinformation situation, for example, which just came out with Mark Zuckerberg, why does the FBI think they're even in the disinformation policing game? Well, as we know, that always applies to anything that would hurt a Democrat and help a Republican in an election. That then becomes disinformation. That's how social media and apparently the FBI view it. In this case, the suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop, this guy, yeah, he left. What do you think is going to happen now? he's probably already negotiating his MSNBC or CNN or wherever gig, maybe a book deal, because the left takes care of their soldiers in this ideological fight. People within the federal bureaucracy who do the dirty work politically of either the Biden regime or whomever get taken care of on the back end. They know that. Just look at what's happened.
If CNN or MSNBC, whoever hired Peter Strzok, was actually clever and accurate, they would put his text messages under his chyron every single time he talks. You realize how little credibility Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, or Andy McCabe have, but they're working on a regular basis. Take a look at this scroll. These are some of the people that have been found to be corrupt against President Trump and the Republican Party. So as we mentioned, Peter Strzok, mentioned Lisa Page, mentioned Andy McCabe, all caught. James Comey, a disgrace. Bruce R. also nailed. Kevin Kleinsmith changed the FISA warrant. Jim Baker, the attorney, he's absolutely disgraced as well. Tim Thibault and Brian Orton all got caught, always going against Trump. So you wonder why Republicans feel as though the FBI might have it out for them. Defund is wrong. Reform is right.
Yeah, where is the list of the senior FBI or intel officials that have helped?
Yeah, can we roll the list? Okay, we don't have.
Yeah, we don't have one.
We don't need one.
It doesn't exist, and that I think proves so much of this to people who are paying attention. Also, usually if you put your name to something, because I'm a very serious intel professional, let's say 50 people or so do this right before an election on a major issue that could turn the election, and you use your credibility as a shield. The lie was the point, by the way. That would be a career downer for most folks. Everybody who signed their name to that, it was a career enhancement opportunity going forward in the media,
right,
on the boards of companies. They know that because this is how the Democrat deep state machine functions.
What does it tell you that these agents, maybe a dozen, had to go to senators and Jim Jordan in the House in order to expose this corruption within the FBI? And they didn't go to Christopher Wray and say, your house is out of order. What does it tell you?
It means that there are leftist activists and sympathizers within the top levels of particularly the FBI and the DOJ, which I think we've already known for a number of years now, who even if Wray wanted to clean the situation up, people don't have enough trust in the chain of command that they won't face retaliation, which would be illegal internally, if they actually came forward within the institution itself. So they've got to go around and finally try to get some answers. But that list, by the way, how many people went to jail? How many people actually face real accountability? Kleinsmith got off because of a D.C. jury. The whole thing is rigged, man.
I will say this. I'm very curious to see what develops from here if the Senate goes to the Republicans, if the House goes like it likely should, because I think there's more people that come forward. I think they're doing a good job investigating this. And sadly, I don't think we're even close to the end of this.
Yeah, the first step in accountability is getting the truth out there. So let's hope they can get to that when they take back the House and the Senate.
Go get them, Buck, and good luck in your radio show the rest of the week.
Thanks so much.
All right.